Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about alignment and exposure. We're going to discuss what I mean by alignment and exposure. What are we aligning? What are we exposing? We're also going to talk about why it's important and what you should do when you are aligning and exposing yourself. So, I hope you guys are ready to take some notes and let's get into it. Okay, so number one, what is alignment and exposure? When I say alignment and exposure, I am talking about firstly things, who and what you keep around you. So, in terms of friends, I don't want to say family, friends, colleagues, things like that, who you let into your space, the environment that you are in, and exposure would be um, more mostly in terms of like social media, um, what you expose yourself to, what you are taking from the people and pages and accounts that you follow. So in a sense, we're going to talk about what you learn from the things that you expose your mind to in terms of reading, mostly social media. We're also going to talk about how people that are around you can align with your brand, can influence you, like your life decisions that you make and everything. Um, why is this important? This is important mainly for peace of mind, when it comes to your everyday functioning, your mental health, your personal development as a person, just how you run your life, you know once again, for peace of mind. But it's also important, if you have certain goals that you want to achieve, certain values that you want to live by, that you want to follow. It's also important for how you function and how you run your life every day. So if you're still interested and you want to know, let's get into it. Okay, so we have looked at what alignment and exposure is. So, what do we mean when we say that? And we have looked at why it is important. Now, we're going to talk about alignment firstly, in terms of friends. So, the circle that you keep around you, and um, actions and behavior. Okay, so number one, friends and your circle. Um, when we say alignment in terms of friends and the circle that you keep around you, right? What we are talking about is, okay, so there's a quote by Steve Harvey that says, if nine of your friends are broke, you're likely to be the 10th one. That's because the people that you keep around you influence your thoughts, your goals, and the decisions that you make, right? They influence how you feel about yourself. They influence your emotions. They play a role in how you see yourself. Now, we're not going to say, now I'm not saying, I don't know who I say I'm talking about when I say we. Now, I'm not saying that you should base your entire life decisions and all should be dependent on your circle. No, that's not what I'm saying. But we need to acknowledge or be aware of the fact that your circle plays a role and has an impact in such things. Okay? So when Steve Harvey says, if 10 of your friends are broke, if 9 of your friends are broke, you're likely to be the 10th one. It's because these are the people that you spend a lot of your time with. What you allow around you influences where you are going in your life, right? So if you have 9 friends who literally just enjoy staying at home, not doing anything, you're going to be the 10th person who just enjoys staying at home and not doing anything. Um, so look at it in terms of, say you have a business, right? Say you have a project that you want to start. Say you have a goal that you want to achieve. Is your circle like minded? right? That even if they are not in the space where you are at the moment, would they like to be in that space? Do they want for you what you want for yourself, right? Not what you want for yourself, they want for themselves. Do they want you to get to where you want to be? Are they happy for you when you have good things going on in your life? Do your friends support everything that you do for yourself? Do your friends support projects that you start? Do your friends support decisions that you make? How do your friends handle your failure? How does your circle handle your failure? Are you surrounded by people that you can trust? Are you surrounded by people that you can rely on if things don't go well for you? Are your friends, is your circle there for you in the same way that you are there for them? Are you there for other people? You know, these are all things that we need to think about when we talk about alignment in terms of the circle that we keep. Bear in mind that even if they are not your life support, they play a role in how you run your life and what you want for yourself. So these are things that we need to be careful or be mindful of. That I say I want to start a business. Have I surrounded myself with people that not only want businesses for themselves, but want me to have a business for myself? Am I surrounding myself with people who I can rely on in the same way that they can rely on me? Am I surrounding myself with people that are going to build me and not try to bring me down when I try to do something for myself? Okay? Uh, Number two, we're going to talk about alignment in terms of actions and behavior. Um, for this one, we're going to use examples of Miss Essay, all the contestants for um, Miss Essay, right? One constant thing about all the ladies who auditioned, ne? Or entered for Miss Essay, one thing that they kept talking, that was a constant in most of their entry videos, was how they want to uh, inspire or empower South African women and young girls, right? Um, so, if you're going to talk about, for example, that you want to inspire and empower South African women and girls, your behavior has to be something that is inspiring, something that is encouraging and empowering. So, you can't be talking about how you want to empower young girls, how you want to empower young girls, but you are a known body shamer, you know, or you are known for dragging people on social media, or you and your friends are known for being popular mean girls, or do you understand what I'm saying? That it's not aligning. That's a brand that's not aligning, because you are doing two different things, you know. On this side, you want to empower and inspire girls. On this side, you are shaming and bringing down girls. Do you see? It's not a hat that you can take on and off. It's a constant thing. It's your brand, and it's what you carry with you everywhere you go, you know. So when we talk about actions and behavior, you need to make sure that if you are going to say that you are a kind person, kindness must be your bread and breakfast, if that makes sense, you know. It must be something that you show to everyone around you, because your brand aligns with kindness. So you need to be known that you are a kind person. You need to be known that you are a church going person. You need to be known that, do you understand what I'm saying? And it's not, I'm not saying that it must be like every single day where you go, but it must your actions and your behavior must align with what you have put out to the universe, what you have put out to say that this is who I am, this is what I want to do in life, this is what I want to be known for, you know. So therefore, what you do must align with what you have put out there, you know. Going back to the example of Miss Essay, we had, I'm so sorry, I'm terrible with names sometimes. Um, the girl who wanted to run for Miss SA. And then Twitter people pulled out old tweets of her being racist, body shaming, and all of those things. So you see why it's important to make sure that your actions, your behaviors align with what you have set out to do for yourself and what you have put out to the universe to say that this is who I am, this is what I do, you know. So it must align, it must all, it's a train that moves, so everything must be on board, everything must work towards the end goal, everything must work towards the bigger picture. Okay, so moving on to exposure. In terms of exposure, we're going to look at mostly social media. One, because it plays a very big role as well in our lives, um, but also because it's growing and it's becoming more and more powerful each and every day. Um, the influence that social media is having or has is growing each and every day. So that's something that we need to be more mindful of each and every day, right? So when we talk about social media, when I talk about social media, what I am talking about is the pages and the people that you follow, right? Um, I remember a long time ago, maybe a year or two ago, I came across a video, and this guy was doing an interview, right? And so in this interview, he says that if you are an influencer, what are you influencing, right? Then he continues to say that when people come to your page, what are they gaining from your page? What are people taking away? Are they leaving influenced, or are they leaving influenced positively or negatively? So those are the things that one needs to be mindful of when you choose what you follow, who you follow, you know. Um, if I go into Bonang's Instagram, what am I taking from that page? You know, I'm just using that as an example. By the way, I love Bonang, so I'm just using it as an example. Is is what I'm seeing on her timeline building to me? Is it inspiring to me? Is there anything that I can take from her page and use it in my life? You know, one example that I can use is in terms of beauty bloggers. You know, think of it in terms of finance. Beauty bloggers do a lot of promotions for brands, do a lot of promotions for different products that we can use. They give us a lot of products that we can use, right? So look at it in terms of finances. I go to two, uh, I don't want to mention names because I don't want to get into trouble, two beauty bloggers. One posts about expensive brands and MAC and Crayola and Estee Lauder and all of those things, whereas the other one looks at drugstore makeup products, drugstore brands, Revlon, Essence, things that are affordable. Me right now, I am a student, so I don't get much. You know, I don't have a huge budget for makeup products and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense for me to be following somebody who advertises things that are out of my tax bracket, if that makes sense, or out of my budget. I can't be following somebody who uses products like Crayola. Do you understand? When I can afford drugstore makeup products. Do you understand? If that makes sense, it's important to make sure that what you are exposing yourself to is something that aligns with you now, where you are in your life, something that is building for you now, aligns with your values, aligns with your budgets, aligns with your lifestyle. It's First of all, we are very much aware of the fact that half of the people that are posting their lives on Instagram and all that are posting things that they themselves can't even afford and are showing us lifestyles that they can't afford. So you need to be careful, you need to be mindful of the fact of the authenticity of what you are following and what you're exposing yourself to, how it's impacting your life. What are you gaining? Can you take what you are learning from that influencer, from that group, and implement it in your life? Will it build you? Can you take values from that page and implement those in your life? Okay, one other thing that is very important for us to talk about, right, is the misconception that comes with alignment and exposure. Um, just because something does not align with your brand, just because something is not of a good influence for you, does not mean it's trash. Doesn't mean it must be ruled out completely. Look at it in terms of the people that you keep around your circle. Just because uh, those people don't align with your brand does not mean they are trash, you know? If your brand is about respect, if your brand is about kindness, I'm using the term brand like as an example loosely. If your brand is about respect and kindness, just because the other person doesn't align with that doesn't mean now the person must be thrown to the curb and um, ruled out. If your brand is about respect, be a respectful person wherever you go. If your brand is about empowering, empower people where you go, empower people wherever you go, you know. Um, you leave an impression wherever you go. You leave a mark of who you are. People will always remember how you treat them. People will always remember what you do for them. So ensure that everything that you do leaves for other people, leaves a good impression about your brand, because sometimes you might find that you yourself don't align with other people's brands, if that makes sense. um, Another misconception is that uh, now you must constantly be a serious person and not have fun. No, there's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with, for example, social media pages. I'm not saying fill everything with motivational quotes, only follow pages that are motivational, only follow pages. No, there's nothing wrong with like following things and exposing yourself to things that make you laugh and things that you just, are your goals, things that um, put a smile on your face or anything like that. There isn't anything wrong with that. There isn't anything wrong with going to places that don't align with your brand. What's important and what you need to remember about all of these things is the power of discipline. To say that even if I'm in places that don't bring me comfort or pleasure, there's nothing wrong with being there. I still stick to my values. I stick to what I say about myself and for myself. Um, I follow uh, pages that show me Bible verses and, but I still follow like meme pages and. So yes, alignment and exposure are very important in your life, but um, so is having fun, and so is amusement, if that makes sense. So it's not always a So it's not always about being strict to yourself. It's about discipline. In that, even if you are in out of your zone, you can still stay true to who you are and what you want. There's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with and being with or surrounding yourselves with fun. That's the best way that I can explain it. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our video. I hope that I've spoken some things that make sense. I hope that um, you've taken something away from today's video, and I hope mostly you guys enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more of me and what I have to offer, you can follow me on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and of course subscribe to my channel and hit the like button for the video. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you can get a notification every time I post a video. I hope you do good during this lockdown. Stay safe, stay indoors, and stay in level 5 until those cases start going down. Yeah.